Frank Sangster, the dentist, a well-lit dental office filled with dental tools. Frank examining a patient, a focused expression on his face, surrounded by the sterile environment. Susan, the enigmatic patient, the dental chair, cozy yet tense. Susan reclining in the chair, a mysterious smile on her lips as she locks eyes with Frank. Frank and Jean, his fiancée, a cozy restaurant, intimate ambiance. Frank and Jean sharing a meal, Jean laughing while Frank looks distracted, glancing at his phone. The moment, temptation, a dimly lit bar, neon lights flickering. Frank sitting at the bar, Susan leaning in closer, their chemistry palpable as they share a drink of the drug Novocaine. A small table cluttered with vials and syringes, a close-up of Frank's hand reaching for a vial, a look of hesitation on his face. Frank's descent into chaos, a dark alley, shadows cast by streetlights. Frank stumbling through the alley, disheveled and lost, as he grapples with his choices. Confrontation with Susan, a tense living room, dimly lit, Frank pointing a finger at Susan, anger and betrayal evident on his face, as she looks back defiantly. Frank reflecting on his life, a quiet park bench, surrounded by trees, Frank sitting alone, staring into the distance, a contemplative expression as he grapples with his thoughts. The climax of the story, a darkened dental office, shadows looming, Frank standing in front of his dental chair, conflicted and determined, ready to confront his past. Frank's dental practice, a pristine waiting room with magazines and plants, patients sitting nervously, glancing at the clock as Frank walks in, looking distracted. A close-up of Susan. The dental office, with a bright light overhead, Susan biting her lip, an alluring look in her eyes as she engages Frank in conversation. Frank and Jean discussing their future. Their home, cozy and filled with memories. Jean excitedly flipping through a wedding planner, while Frank appears distant, lost in thought. Frank using Novocaine, a dimly lit bathroom, mirrors reflecting Frank staring at himself in the mirror, syringe in hand, a look of inner conflict on his face. Frank's chaotic lifestyle, a cluttered apartment, dirty dishes piled up. Frank tossing his belongings around in frustration, overwhelmed by his choices. The moment of betrayal, a secluded park surrounded by trees. Frank standing with a shocked expression as he overhears Susan talking to another man. Frank seeking redemption. A peaceful beach at sunset. Frank walking along the shore deep in thought, waves crashing at his feet as he contemplates his future. Confrontation with a friend. A coffee shop, bustling with people. Frank sitting across from a close friend, looking desperate as he reveals his struggles. The aftermath of chaos, a dark alley littered with debris. Frank sitting against a wall, head in hands, reflecting on the consequences of his actions. The moment of clarity. A well-lit dental office, returning to normal. Frank standing confidently at his dental chair, ready to face his patients with renewed determination.